Hey, this is Mark Rugen, and I'd really like to show you how to prepare yourself for technical support and how to get real assistance. We all have to get some kind of help from time to time, and sometimes that means calling the people that make the software or the hardware or whatever. I want you to find out what you should do to get the best answers you can from technical support. So pay close attention. There are, of course, many methods for getting help. You can make a phone call, send an email, search a database or a knowledge base, go on social media and post, and even ask an expert. I'm going to discuss each one of these because each one of them has a particular way that you should understand about getting help. For instance, in phone calls, you can call the company, but you need to keep in mind they may not answer, or it could be a while before they get back to you. And it's not because they're not calling you back. They get a lot of calls. Emails, great, but you're not actually speaking to someone. That means you need to at least describe your issues accurately and use a lot of images. You can search a knowledge base, but you're on your own there, and it's no guarantee your problem will be in there, although many good knowledge bases do have answers. Of course, you can post on social media and see if your peers can help you, but be careful because not everybody's an expert, even though they may think they are. And of course, the final way is to ask an actual expert. You're going to probably get a really good answer from an expert, but obviously you may have to pay for that. So these are the ways. Let's jump in and talk about these in a little more detail. All right, before we start, let's talk about realistic expectations. I'm going to point out to you something you may not like, but it's the truth. You are not special, but the technicians you're calling are. Let me explain what I mean, okay? The fact is, you're just one of hundreds or even thousands of users that are asking for help. And many of these companies, if not all of them, rarely have a large enough staff to assist everyone right away. Techs may be required to take dozens of calls a day. Some issues might be easy to solve, some are not. Consider that the techs are probably stressed out also. They get yelled at a lot. Not everyone is nice when they call for help. So while the issue is, of course, very important to you and you deserve to get an answer, it's just one for the day for that technician. Their job is to find a solution, if one exists, as quickly as possible. That means you need to give them the information to help them get that answer. So be realistic about what you expect. So let's start with phone calls. The key to remember here is communication is king. When you're making a call, communication is king. Keep in mind that the entire conversation is verbal. You're not most of the time they're not seeing anything on your screen, although they could call in with Team Viewer or something like that, which would be great. Then you can actually see things. But I want you to do the following on every call that you make, right? First of all, tell them your name and company and user ID of some kind if that's necessary. Make sure that's clear to them because they're probably filling out a form or doing something online that they're going to need to meet with their supervisor and all that in other meetings, right? So give them some basic information. Secondly, give the tech information about your setup. Tell them what your software version is. Tell them what kind of computer you're using. Tell them your Windows version and the equipment you're running. Tell them who you bought it from. The tech needs to develop a visual idea of what your setup is to kind of get an idea of where to go with an answer. Thirdly, try to describe what the issue is by telling the tech a step-by-step description of what you did that led to the issue. And if you don't know that, go back and make it happen again and just really think about what are the steps? What did I do? What's happening? Why didn't this work? Did it work before? What did I do differently? Ask yourself those questions. And then allow the tech to ask questions and give as clear an answer as possible. Now, you may think the questions are too basic. You may think, hey, get to it. I just need an answer. No, no, no. Let them ask those questions. They're doing it for a reason. They have a method. These guys and ladies, they're pretty specific and they can give you good answers, but you got to let them ask those questions. And finally, be prepared for a non-answer. Sometimes the tech may need time to research the issue and give you the best advice. So, it's possible at the end of the call you may walk away with no answer. You don't be too frustrated by that. This is normal practice in every business. So give them a chance to find the answer and get back to you. And you can ask, and just say, hey, okay, I realize you need to work. Can you call me back tomorrow if possible? And what time? Be specific. Set up another call if they don't do it already. But in any case, let them communicate with you, you communicate with them, and then let them have a little time to find out what's going on. One method that a lot of folks use to get help is emails. Now, I want you to understand an email, you aren't speaking verbally as opposed to the phone call. So again, communication is important. You're going to be using words, but also use pictures. The nice thing about emails is that you can use images along with your words. Once you think you've written an email and you're ready to send it, stop. Go back and read the email again. Read it again twice if you want to. You'd be surprised how you might find a thing or two that are not really clear. Put yourself in the seat of helping someone else. If somebody just says to you, hey, it's not working. It was working yesterday. It's not working today. And I don't know what's going on. Can you help me? That obviously, I'm being sarcastic here, but that's not going to help anyone. You need to put down in words exactly what's going on. So, and nice thing about emails too is it's a way to record the answer. If you're exchanging back and forth and you do get a solution, then you have something in writing that you can use that maybe later you could refer to, right? Once again, don't expect immediate answers. A tech will go through all their emails he'll type out answers, and it may take some time. So it's a slower method of getting help, but it can be actually very effective as long as your emails have lots of very descriptive words and really good pictures of what's going on. Now, you may be getting ready to make a phone call or send an email and so forth. I would recommend that you go online or use some kind of help file or whatever. Try to find an answer on your own. Even if you're ready to do those other two steps, knowledge bases are actually pretty accurate and up to date. So search a knowledge base. If there's one available, go in there and take a look. Put in search words. If you don't find an article on the word you're using, try a different word. Go through and be as thorough as you can. This could take, even if you spend 10 or 15 minutes on this, it could actually lead you to an answer and you're done. So use those knowledge bases when they're available to you. So getting help from social media is a little touchy here. What I'm going to tell you is give more help than you take. Now, that may sound counterintuitive, because you're going there maybe to ask a question because you need help. But the more you help others, the more likely they are to give you an answer. That you'll develop a social media respect, and a few people might even follow you as you give answers to others. So that way, when you type in and you need help, they'll be there to assist you quicker. It can be useful. Just keep in mind too that not every answer you're going to get is going to be the right one. So you're using this information at your own risk. Like emails and phone calls, though, it's really good to be precise. I've noticed on some of the Facebook groups and so forth, folks post things and they don't tell you anything. They tell you what the issue is maybe, but they don't give you an idea of what version you're using, what kind of Windows are you using, what's the hardware. It's not a big deal to type in as much information as you can. Believe me, it helps get answers and it helps get the right answers. People on these social media sites, they also need to visualize what you're doing, what the issue is. Most times you can post images, you can post a video of what's going on, you can upload a file. All these things can help when you're using something that's online like a social media website to try to get answers. But again, I want to stress, give more than you take. help others. That's the whole idea behind these sites, right? It's going to help you get an answer quicker. I guarantee you, you probably know of some folks on a website that you're going to that you highly respect. And if they were to ask for information, you would probably be right there to give it to them. It's because they've established themselves as helpers, not just takers. So keep that in mind. No one likes a complainer. It's one thing to ask for help, but just to complain about it, or to, if you are trying to help others and you're just, complaining about how you don't like the software or whatever, that doesn't give value to what others are looking for. Yes, it could be an answer for someone, but it's not giving value to the whole site. So try to be positive about it. Try to look at it from the standpoint of, okay, did I have this problem? What did I do? And if that was to change to a different software or do something differently, then fine, state that. But state it in a respectful way and help the person solve the issue. Remember, a lot of folks aren't going to make changes. They want to keep using the software. So if that's the case, help them find the answer. That will gain respect as well. Keep these things in mind when you're using social media to get help. Now, one last way to get help is to hire an expert. If you want fast and expert assistance, keep in mind you're probably going to have to pay for it. There's a number of experts in every business who are more than willing to help, but of course they'll expect some form of payment. These experts, will still need lots of information from you to help you. They're likely to find an answer maybe quicker than even technical support. But even some experts are not going to have an immediate answer. They may need time to research it and find more information for you. Don't expect miracles, but do expect them to help you. When you first hire an expert, make it clear, if you can't help me, do I still get charged? How much are you charging? Is it by the minute? Is it by the hour? Do I pay it now? Do I pay it at the end? Make sure all the terms are clear and be ready to assist them in helping you. Make sure you're clear about what the costs are, but also make it clear that you'd like follow-up if things don't work again, right? So just work with that expert to get the best answer you can, and I guarantee you they will be able to help you. Okay, my last couple of recommendations for you. One is I want you to download this checklist. Now, if you're watching this as a video, it may be in a description or something, or just, write down the link here. It's pretty easy to remember. It's just thinkmuto.com/techchecklist.pdf. It's a PDF file. And what it's going to have is it's going to have suggestions about what you need to do, information you need to write down before you ask for help. Even if you're doing social media or emails or whatever, it's a good way to kind of make a form up. And then there'll be an area in there too of what the answer was. And you can keep that, just file it away. And if you ever need it again or somebody else needs it, you can pull it right out. But it's a good way to kind of remind you of what you need to do. The second thing I want to recommend to you is learn more about the software you're using. The more you know about it, the more training you get, the more education you get on the software, on your hardware, on your printer, on your medias, on your ink, the more you can get, the fewer problems you're going to have. I guarantee it. So learn more and you will need tech less. All right, this is Mark Rugen, and I hope this helps you out in getting better tech support when you have issues. Comment if you want, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure that you ask the questions you need help with in a respectful way. Remember, give more, take less. Have a good one.